You know that excitement that you get after getting an award letter, and then your client says, boom, we regret to inform you that we cannot be proceeding with this project and therefore wish to retract and cancel the bid. Oh, that is so dreadful. Hey guys, good afternoon, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lerato Sebata, your procurement specialist, and if you need anything related to projects, tenders, contracts, you know where to go, right? Guys, I must say I miss you so much. Life has been so busy. We have launched a new podcast. It is called Procurement Dialogues. Please do check it out on my channel under the playlist name. So guys, I'm so happy to be back. I must say I missed you so much. I have not done a sit down in a while, and I must admit something to you. I recorded a video, I think sometime early Feb. It is still somewhere in this camera. I'm supposed to be taking it out, editing it and posting, but I have not been inspired to do so because, hey, Kuning, life is busy. Speaking of Kuningi, before we get into today's topic, I do want to mention that we have the upcoming first ever face-to-face tender success workshop that is happening on the 11th of May in Rosebank, of course, in Gauteng. If you are someone who's following me and wants to be part of the tender success workshop, please do ensure that you buy tickets. They are sold online on our website, www.roigroup.co.za. You will find it under the shop. The tickets are selling for 950. The special thing about this particular workshop is that firstly it's going to be a breakfast. There will be nibbles and eats, while we are talking successful tendering strategies. But what I do also have in this workshop, guys, is we have guest speakers that will come in as well from different facets and other departments, of course, to ensure that after you win this tender bid, what do you do? Right? We have someone who's coming in to talk to us in terms of funding. What do you need when you have to apply for funding? And, who knows? There might just be a nice giveaway. Asazi. So if you don't want to miss out, please do attend and ensure that you buy tickets. My information is available on all social media platforms, and I'm also going to put up the poster here. Please do check it out. Tickets do sell out fast, so ensure that you buy and you are part of this upcoming tender success workshop, because guys, I want you to succeed more than anything else, right? In two ways, let's get into today's video because it is such a spicy one. It does happen quite a lot, especially for those people who are in these industries that tend to be so problematic. I'm going to touch on that. Alright, what are the conditions of retracting a tender award letter? Yeah, this is one of the difficult ones, yeah? So, what happens is that every organization, whether public sector or private sector, they do have clauses in the tender documents that protect their buying organizations, meaning the ones that are advertising the bids, to cancel this bid for whatever reason, whatever cause, right? And I want to tell you guys different types of reasons what would constitute an organization to cancel or retract an award letter. Imagine this scenario. It is your first time tendering. You've been waiting, to win award, or you've been tendering for such a long time. You've been waiting for an opportunity for you to win the bid. And after so many attempts, you finally get your bid awarded, and you're excited, you're happy. And a lot of times people, they go and celebrate. They call us, Lerato, I won this bid, let's go celebrate, let's go pop some champagne. Pop, 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 pop. You go pop some champagne, and then voila, 2 weeks later you're told, excuse me, Mrs. Sebata, excuse me, Miss Sebata, unfortunately, we have to cancel this, we need to retract this award, blah, 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 blah. So what are the conditions that govern any organization to retract an award letter? Most people, guys, won't come out and tell you these things. Mara, it's painful. And this does not only happen with small companies, it does also happen with medium-sized companies, even large corporates. They do experience this problem. So it is a problem that cuts across any level, to be quite fair and honest with you. So, number one, why do organizations retract an award? I've made some few notes here because I want you to get all the sauce, and you obviously enlightened. So the first reason is procedural errors and irregularities. Yeah. So it does happen that during a tender process, sometimes there are irregularities that are experienced. And what causes those irregularities or process errors is it comes in multiple ways. So first things first, the scope of services or specification might be written in a way that it favors one company and not favoring, an open market. And this is sometimes an innocent mistake, and sometimes it's not an innocent mistake. So whereby, let's just say, for example, an organization will issue a tender for security services, CCTVs, and the likes. And there's probably, in that company, there's probably been one supplier that's been providing the service for over 10 years or 15 years sometimes. So organically what happens is that when they upgrade systems in the company, they start using their own, platforms and softwares, camera style or type and all of that. So when now they need to go out and tender, you find that the infrastructure that is available in the company is actually the IP of that company. So therefore what happens, it becomes difficult now to try and scope what will be a fair, I would say, tender request, so that other bidders in the market can actually come and tender, right? So sometimes business units or end users, they can only work with what they know. And obviously sometimes there's not always enough budget available in the market to hire a specialist that will come in as a consultant to look at the environment and infrastructure and then scope what the tender requirements are, right? So those are like almost innocent reasons, but it's also not allowed because you're obviously scoping a tender for one person. And you can debate it many ways, but if audit comes in and looks at the process and they realize no wonder 10,000 people could not tender, only 1 or 2 people were able to tender with this because the scope of work was not fair. So in that case, sometimes then it does cause the issue of, do we need to award this? Maybe we should retract, maybe we should go do some research, maybe we should just, so many reasons come up. But the point is that there could be irregularities in the process and or errors. So in terms of irregularities, guys, not everything else goes through the right process. Whether it's through malicious intent or it's not through malicious intent, if there are steps and gaps in the process for whatever reason, especially if it is of material nature, then the company does not want to take a risk of continuing with that bidder that was awarded the bid, and of course rather just deal with solving the issues than having to have audit and issues and findings and all of that, right? And in some cases you'll find that other people, they would recommend a bid that the bidder that was not first, maybe third or fourth, whatever reason. There are multiple reasons, guys, but the point I'm trying to bring here is that if there is any process gap experienced in the tender process, whether there is a maybe stakeholder that did not sign according to a delegation of authority, they missed it, this person was supposed to be part of the team but they were not, this business unit was supposed to provide this and then it was not provided on time, or maybe another irregularity is that someone who's working in the team, they've leaked documentation to service providers, they've leaked documentation to some people. So all of that, it's under the umbrella of irregularity, errors, and all of those things. So if that is, of course, the reason, and now the process is way ahead and maybe an award letter was issued, trust and believe you'll receive a "Dear Sir, Madam, we regret to inform that under clause what of our tender document says that we can cancel or retract award due to these reasons. We therefore, as an organization, take upon ourselves to exercise our rights and actually retract an award." And boom! So yeah, unfortunately, that's just one of the reasons. The second reason, guys, it is, I would say, non-compliance, related to, of course, the documentation that the country regards as non-compliance. So you as a bidder, you might obviously not be certified, right? If you may be using fake documentation as well, or you misrepresented, so it just did not comply. A lot of these things happen when there are incorrect certifications, or you were supposed to comply with this, but you did not, CIDB and or all the other things that are necessary, right, related to what the bid is about. If there is any form of non-compliance, of course you are out, right? And some people also, you've discovered that at the time of the bid, it was closing. Now, when it was closing, you discover that maybe your tax clearance was expired, but during the evaluation you went to then update it quickly. So if you then look into it, that still forms part of non-compliance. Doesn't matter when you resolve the issue. At the time of you submitting a bid, if your BEE or your tax clearance or tax compliance, as they call it now, it's not up to date, shame, they can say, sorry, bring that award. Sorry. So, yeah. Another reason, guys, it is, of course, force majeure and unforeseen circumstances. So this is related to typical situations like what we experienced with COVID. Now you probably need to go and extract a new building. You need to, provide this service. Jiggy jiggy, unale lockdown. You now cannot exercise and do that anymore. So what does the company do? They say, "Eish, I'm so sorry. We have to cancel this bid," right? So that's also another reason or causes of what would constitute an award letter to be retracted. This one, okay, is a little bit fair, right? Because that's an issue. I'll tell you of a story. There is a company, a travel company that was supposed to book, of course, trips and all of that for the business that they were doing and all of that. And it was during COVID. There was a lockdown, and of course monies were paid, maybe even deposit was paid. And then what happens was, now we cannot continue, therefore need to cancel this and we need our money back. So now it becomes a legal battle, right? So if the legal team challenges it and say, hey, there was cost incurred to this, blah 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 blah, then you end up coming to a form of settlement. But that's also another incident or example of what happens when you need to retract award due to unforeseen circumstances leading to the legal terminology, which is force majeure of events, right? And then there is also an issue related to discovery of material misrepresentation. Kunabantu, guys, that are not meant to be representing businesses, or your business is fronting, you are using, in fact, another supplier 100% of the equipment, material. They're the one doing the work, right? And they just appoint an organization like ROI Group that knows nothing. Because I get excited, I want a bid, I want money, I then partner and joint venture, and then it's done by this guy and this company. That is misrepresentation, if you do not know. So of course that is fraudulent, right? It's regarded as a fraud. So misrepresentation in that manner, if it is then discovered of according to the BE commissioner, but this bid, we have to cancel it because you are not the one that you've employed. The organization is not doing the work it's supposed to be doing. You're relying on client mamang to do the entire work. So you have to be very careful when you're dealing with that. Another reason, guys, that will constitute an award to be retracted, it is, of course, using fraudulent documents. It does look like it's an obvious thing, but can I tell you, clearly common sense is not common to everyone. You would not believe how many bidders out there, they submit tenders and they're using fraudulent documents. Something will be a fraudulent document. Some things might look all right. People are always taking chances. Remember, money laundering, scammers, defrauders, whatever you call them, all those names, people do that. So there are times where some documents, they look so close and so good. Some people don't, they just go use a wrong ID because they're probably non-South Africans and they want to have shareholding in the business, which will get you the BE points, and that is again part of misrepresentation. But then during maybe tender execution, you have an award, you're happy, you're busy executing your work on site, and behind the scene forensic, busy checking things because maybe there was a tip off. And I can tell you guys, a lot of times there's always a tip off. You might get away with things maybe the first, second, third times, but there'll come a day. Those people who do drugs and they go to jail, they will tell you there'll come a day. Basically, Mali and up and down doing things, life was good. If you actually listen to those ex-convicts and those ones and their stories, shockingly so, there will come a day you are not expected. Equally with tenders, there'll come a day, even if you've been doing fraud, using documents, whatever. Mara one day, and once they catch you, of course, they will retract an award, right? So this does happen, guys. This is not stories. I'm not talking, fairy tale things. I'm talking real life. There are people that I know, they were taken offside because they discovered that, they're using fraudulent documents. Some they discover immediately after the letter was sent out, right? And another, of course, reason that I've mentioned here in the channel is, unfortunately, maybe the business does not have budget anymore to support that project. So if the business does not have budget anymore, that means they cannot continue the project. So therefore they need to cancel this bid, and therefore they need to say, thank you very much, peace, I am so sorry for inconvenience caused. What you can do, of course, as a recourse is for you to try and challenge and maybe quantify the expenses that you have incurred due to the award of the letter, blah, blah, blah. And doesn't matter if there was a contract or there was no contract, whoever that is the buying company, they have almost a leeway more than the bidder, right? So you can always negotiate separation fees and settlement fees, but it doesn't mean that you continue with the work. So sometimes the budget is just exhausted. Jiggy money is placed elsewhere. Priorities of the companies are elsewhere. So what do? And there was a bid, and Lerato, you are awarded to provide a service, maybe to provide promotional items or whatever. That doesn't become a priority of the organization anymore. Or the project sponsor was fired. Or they've left. And now it's causing a whole lot of delay because some of the internal systems are not interlinked. They don't speak too easy, quickly, whatever the case is. Hey, good evening, guys. Companies go through a lot, to be honest. It's not a perfect environment, but there are reasons of what constitute an award letter to be retracted, and I just wanted to enlighten you on some of these reasons. It is not limited to what I said today, but these are most common ones that we see play out more often. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If this video did help you or enlighten you whatsoever, just do please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. And ensure that you come to the Tender Success Breakfast Workshop happening in Rosebank on the 11th of May. Firstly, we're going to have one-on-one conversation. We're not going to be virtual anymore. I can't wait to see you guys there, those who will be coming. I really appreciate your support all the time. I'm not sure if we'll have another one this year. I don't know actually, but this one, it is our first physical workshop, so do make sure that you are part of that and you don't miss out on what is going to happen. We're going to be having a couple of speakers. I will not be the only speaker on the day, so you don't want to miss out. I appreciate you guys so much. If this video did help you whatsoever, please do like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And support my podcast. Follow me on all the social media channels or socials, basically, as they say these days. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I'm not so, but even there. LinkedIn, Lerato, Sebata. So, yeah, guys, I'll see you on the next one.